The great Yankee catcher Yogi Berra once claimed, "It's not over until it's over." How true, as last week the Big Reds were up 16 with 6 minutes left and ended up losing the game by 1 point to Madison Heights, Madison. You talk about Twilight Zone material, and on that note, Big Reds, this is for you. Ortonville's bus has traveled to another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind, a journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. There's a signpost up ahead. It reads Port Huron, Ortonville, your next stop, the Big Red Zone. Good evening, everyone. Week 10 of the playoffs. Joining you right at kickoff, let's get nasty. Port Huron from the 15, quickly to the 20, now 25, and stumbles down to the 30. Out past the 32, pretty good opening return for Ortonville Brand. And the Blackhawks come in tonight with a 5-4 record. This, again, is Week 10. It's Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6 from Memorial Stadium. Our 8-1 Big Reds versus the Ortonville Brand Blackhawks, a team we don't hear very much from, and good reason. They're out of the Flint Metro League, and we'll talk about them in just a moment. But first of all, we've got play one. We've got shotgun 4 wide. They are a spread offense, a short passing spread offense with highly touted quarterback and 3-year starter number 4, Shane Mahaffey. Getting late call instructions, opening play of their opening drive. They got to the 32 on the opening kickoff. Again, CPHS, Channel 6, glad to be aboard. Pump fake, Mahaffey. Good pass rush, Big Reds. Avoids the pass rush nicely. Finds the open man over the middle, across midfield, and down to the 45. Great opening play for Ortonville Brandon. I'll tell you something about this team. They can really move the football. Keep in mind as well, the broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and CPHS Channel 6. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and CPHS Channel 6. That one looked offside from the get-go, and yes, it's going to be. They flagged that one right away, and the play becomes dead. Again, Shane Mahaffey, leader of this offense. They play out of the Flint Metro League, as said, 5-4 overall, as you're aware now. Ortonville won 4 of its first 5 games, but went 1-3 down the stretch, going 5-4 overall and barely squeaking into these playoffs. But, again, this is a very good challenge for the Big Reds on Week 10. They are not your everyday football team because they spread the ball around. They don't like to run at all. They'll pass all day long. And, again, the talents of number 4, Shane Mahaffey, the 3-year starting quarterback, loves getting out of the pocket, making things happen, but more importantly for the Big Reds, they like using their whole field. They've got excellent team speed. Defense, another story for them, but offensively they can move the football, they can put up big points. Mahaffey again outside, stepped in front of, and picked off by Corey Hutchinson. 35-30, look out, he could be gone. 15, tripped up at the 12, Corey Hutchinson. A touchdown saving tackle, I believe by 4. Well, it wouldn't be Mahaffey over there, would it? I don't think so. But Corey Hutchinson stepped in front of the ball, and there you go. Could have been easily a pick 6, but not quite. The Big Reds in business coming off the big first play from Ortonville Brandon. That's going to be a big key all day. We know the Big Reds can run. We know they've got excellent team speed, and their defensive backfield can match up very well with a spread offense such as this. It's a matter of, will they make the big plays? Out come the 2011 MAC Blue champion Port Huron High Big Reds. Again, 8-1 on the season, 5-0 in the MAC Blue. Also the 2011 owners of the Brick Fowler Trophy. Shotgun Winslow. Keeper around left side. Good hole. Keeps it. Dives in. Touchdown. Big Reds off of one play from scrimmage. There you go. Winslow. Well, the Big Red offense normally is led by number 5, quarterback Mark Chapman. Extremely dangerous talent when healthy. We know that, but he's got an injury. He missed last week, so we'll see if he plays this week. So far, he is not. For how long he plays for, or even if at all, will give the Big Red offense a different look, obviously, if this game goes on with or without him. And who lines up back there at center is another thing, because with Winslow, it's a completely different story. Well, the snap on the extra point, Huntoon stopped, started, and then missed the kick. So some miscommunication in the early going, but that's all right. Not even a minute going on the game. There you see Big Red's already jumping out to the 6-0 lead. Corey Hutchinson the pick. And almost did the rest. Tripped up in the red zone. Winslow Chapman the very next play. Quarterback dive behind blockers, and he got in. Well, Mark Chapman is dressed, in the very least on the sidelines tonight. He practiced all week apparently, but very sore. Apparently he put a lot of weight on his injured leg, listed as a game time decision. I figured since I saw him take the snaps early going in the early warm-ups, I thought, well, they've got a chance at Mark Chapman playing in this game. But as the warm-up went on and on, Winslow started taking the snaps with the first unit, and that was kind of the indication there that Mark just isn't ready yet. Anyway, the offense, and they scored quickly. I didn't really have much time to talk about them. 8, Tyler Robotham, 17, Zmolik on the outside. We all know the great combination of size, skill, speed they have. Jalen Ester's another one. You've got that great talent, you've got to use it. Watch Robotham over the middle all night long if you're Ortonville Brandon. Zmolik, another huge threat and a deep threat with good size and skill. Big Reds and Huntoon about to kick this one off yet again. For the Big Reds and their great 8-1 season, let's get nasty again. Port Huron kickoff, taking 15 this time, quickly up 20. 25 buried this time. Number 3, check that 13, Tyler DeBuff. 2, I believe, the return, Ryan Barnes for the Blackhawks. Again, we've talked about Mahaffey already. He passed for 1,900 yards last year. Now this year he's thrown for 1,531, 11 touchdowns and 7 picks. The leading rusher is a sophomore tailback, number 20, Blake Rehan, but his numbers aren't that impressive because this is a pass-happy offense. They are certainly not boring. Rehan gets about 7 rushes a game. To the outside right, behind right tackle, pushed down, got about 3. Zmolik among tacklers over there for the Big Reds. 44 was over there as well, Raven Randall. Again, Rehan about 7 rushes a game. He rushed for only 285 yards in the regular season. Leading wideouts, number 88, Corey Feltner. He caught 38 for 402 on the year, 5 touchdowns as well. Dylan Everett, another one to watch on the outside for Ortonville Brandon, number 81. Big wideout name out there. Up front, Blackhawks led by 2 3-year starters, 51 Justin Mesetz and 59 Matt Selak up front. So you know those guys are great blockers before even watching this one, knowing like Mahaffey, they are 2 3-year starters. We'll talk about the Big Reds and their defense in just a minute. By the way, second down a minute ago, another minimal gain. That brings up 3rd down and 4, ball marked now with a 31. Under 10 to go in the first. Big Red defense, jump on them early. 6-0. Play fake over the middle, caught close to the sticks, brought down pretty solidly, but that's going to be close to the first down. Winslow made the initial tackle. Zmolik got over there for help, but I believe it's a first down. Yes, it is. So they just did get it, and right smack dab on the sticks. Well, the defense, Port Huron High, is a good one. As we know, they've got extremely great depth. Led up front by 55 Ali Fayad, 36 Austin Bugner as well, 56 Malik Edwards. He's a big playmaker in the middle along with Zmolik, as you're aware. Secondary we'll talk about here in just a moment. Wrapped up, pushed down, and a nice job. Great pursuit right off the offensive line there from the get-go. Big Reds jump him and get him. Raven Randall, 44. A nice tackle. And I don't know if they've switched numbers or just what they've done here, but I don't recognize Raven Randall, 44 here, making some big plays, though, in the early going. If he is indeed true, if that really is him, he's a grade 9 player. So that's interesting. Shotgun look, Mahaffey to pass, thinks about it. No, instead a huge hole, but they get to him early and bring him down. 56, one of the gentlemen I just mentioned, Malik Edwards. Big key all day, though, no big secret, is how well the Big Red pass defense plays against this short passing spread. 3, Winslow. 4, the little guy, plays with a huge heart, Montez Jackson. 18, the gentleman who just got a big pick for him, Corey Hutchinson. And 14 back there, Therese Watkins. I should also mention another guy I like for the Big Reds, Randy Trice, number 10, great pass rushing linebacker in his own right. third down and long now from the 36. Again, Mahaffey shotgun, 4 wide look, 1 back set. Big Reds just 1 deep defensive back. And I think we have a delay of game penalty. No, instead a timeout for Ortonville Brand. Again, Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6, proud to be along tonight for Week 10 and Week 1 of the 2011 playoffs. And I say 1 wholeheartedly. This is a Big Red team. Believe me, they can go far. How many times in sports have we heard this phrase? You just got your bell rung. You'll be okay. Get back in the game. Well, guess what? If you got your bell rung, you're probably not okay. You've probably sustained a major concussion. Going back into the game just might put your life in jeopardy. Safety comes first in high school sports, folks, and everyone should learn the signs and symptoms of concussions. Visit the MHSAA website to learn more. It's a message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the values and value period of educational athletics. Couldn't have said it better myself. Again, Derek Wark, Big D in the captain's chair tonight, flying solo again. I have for the last 2 years. Might as well keep going without the color man, but I love it up here. Special thanks to the MHSAA for letting us do this. Of course, Ed Sinek as well, and to E.J. Shea, big fella in the truck down there, for giving me the continued opportunity to call the game I love. How about that? Third down and 9 from the 36. Mahaffey, shotgun, laid pressure. That wouldn't have gained no 9 yards, that's for sure. They had this one stuffed from the beginning. 44, good coverage. There he is again. Raven Randall. Well, I'll have to ask about him because I've never even said his name all season long. All of a sudden, 44's making all these strong plays. There you see him center screen. Unless somehow they've switched numbers. Doing a great job so far, nonetheless. Winslow Chapman standing back at his own 35-yard line and punting this one off Ortonville Brandon. Plenty of blocking in front of the punter here. They're taking no chances at all. Pretty good punt right at Winslow. That hit him. Look out. Almost a remake of last week. But he adjusts nicely, gets out 45, out past midfield near the 50, and that is a great second effort, considering that bounce dangerously hit him off the helmet. And you know after what happened last week, we don't want that to happen again. What exactly did happen last week? We'll talk all about that as this game goes along. I'm sure number 3 doesn't want to hear any more about it, but you knew darn well, knowing that happened, that he was going to focus severely on making that play, making sure the kick return was solid. And it was. He adjusted nice, got out to about the Big Red 45. That's where they'll take it on the next set of downs, their own 45-yard line, 1st and 10. A 6-point lead, and here go the Big Reds again. The Mac Blue champion, Big Reds. How nice is that to say, huh? Mac Blue champion. Right on. Shotgun look. Again, they go spread. They got 4 wide in there and 1 back set. They send 1, Anthony Dobson in motion. It's a play fake. Chapman, nothing. Winslow eaten alive this time. 59 right there to make a strong play. Matt Selak, a gentleman I mentioned as well at the beginning of the broadcast. Again up front, Dylan Everett, number 81, and Brighton Davis, 53. They lead the way on the defensive line. 79, Matt Smith, a strong linebacker in the middle, and number 9, Derek Darling, strong defensive back and a returning starter for the Ortonville Brand Blackhawks. Again, 5-4 Blackhawks, but they're capable. This is not a gimme game. Looking at the team, looking at their stats, they score and they move the chains. So far, Big Reds up to the task. Again, last week, so very important, though, because it's a wake-up call for the Big Reds. That one is just overthrown. Looking for Robotham over the middle and way overthrown and incomplete. He may have just thrown that away, and that'll bring up 3rd down. So often I say, never ever look at last week and remember it. But you know what? In the case of the Big Reds, I was thinking about this. I think you do. I think you use it as blackboard material. And the reason that I say that is because this is a team that has not dealt with any adversity. They haven't had to overcome anything. Now they do. Now they can remember that game last week and say to themselves, we've got to play 4 quarters of football. Not 3.5, not 3, 4. Well, looky here. Mark Chapman is in the game. He's back to pass. Gets to the outside, over the middle. Caught by Robotham. Hello again, Mark Chapman. Inside the 38 and knocked out of bounds. Robotham. Well, that's the one element that Winslow doesn't do is throw the football. And the fact that Mark can get outside and outside of the pocket is so huge because he buys time for talents like 8 to get open. And we've seen it all year. That kid can get open. All you need is to buy him a little bit of time. And that's the one thing that rollout passers can do, like Mark Chapman. From the 38, 1st and 10. Very dangerous offense with Mark in there. Avoids the pass rush. Can't avoid this one. He is flattened. 13. They sent everybody but their grandmother on that one. Anthony Gunn. I guess so. Great job there by Mark just to avoid the initial sack, but you're not going to stop them all. And this might just be more or less on-the-job training here for Mark, just to see, how he's feeling and what he can do. And I would guess, based on what we're seeing thus far, he's going to be in and out of this game all night long. Winslow, the one Chapman who will be in there, probably on every play. But Mark, I think, in and out. He's got to get the reps going again. Quarterback, not exactly the easiest position to just pick up on again after a 2-week hiatus. 2nd and 15, 43-yard line. 6-0 Big Reds over Ortonville Brand. 6:12 to go in the first. Play fake. Winslow. Got 9, maybe 10 to the 30. He's just so quick off the initial speed burst. Gets through the line, but Ortonville Brand, it's the key. Do you see how they move inward to the tackle? And they don't do it with a couple guys. They make sure 5 guys, 6 guys are going to him. 3 gets in the open field, he's gone. So you've got to stop him when you can. And they did a good job of doing that right there. Here's the replay. Fake to Montez, but look at that hole. Up front, the Big Reds have done a great job blocking all season long. There's more evidence right there. Wow. 3rd down and 2. Big play here. Play fake again. Chapman keeper. Busts through. Got it. And more. Mark Chapman. Winslow checked that inside the 10 to the 7. 1st down and goal for the Big Reds. This one calls for a replay, and I'll tell you why. He is tripped up clearly with no gain. But you see, he's hop-stepping. He's hop-stepping over the hands that are out at the line to try and bring him down. That's another key. Do you keep your feet moving at all times? Here you see, with those pink shoes in honor of breast cancer awareness. Look at him. See? Hop-step in the hands. And they just can't get him because he's moving his feet. That's a great job. 1st and goal. Big Reds. Inside the 5, pushing forward to maybe the 3, 16 the carry. The rock star, Carl Portis Hollier. And I know he's a rock star because his mother wrote in to my site at bigdsports.info earlier in the season and said, he's a rock star and doesn't know it. Well, there you go. For the rock star, inside the 5 to the 4, there you go. Big Reds in good shape so far. Again, the early interception, almost returned by 18 Corey Hutchinson, set them up on a 1st and goal inside the red zone. Huntoon missed the extra point. Miscommunication. Since then, 6-0. Big Reds look like they're going to strike again, though. Do they do it on this play? End zone. Touchdown. Big Reds. King Thomason. Yeah, the chop just don't stop. There you go. But they had this last week. You know that? They did. They were blowing them out last week, and they sat and they slept on the lead. I don't even care anymore about blowouts. I'm telling you, 4th quarter, if I'm Coach Mullins, I preach. I don't care if it's 50-0. You're playing 4 quarters of football tonight. That's all there is to it. Snap. It's high, but it's placed down. Kick, Huntoon, it's good. Payback for last time. So with 4:14 ticks to go in the first, there you see it, 13-0. Port Huron Big Reds. Visiting Ortonville Brandon Blackhawks, very unhappy. Derek Warwick, Big D, I'm always happy. CPHS. Channel 6. But appropriate maybe with Halloween coming in a couple of days. I mean, did Ghosts take the field last week? I mean, Big Reds up 16 in the 4th quarter with 6 minutes to go. Well, a botched punt. Madison Heights Madison takes it in. They get the 2-point conversion. Then they score again, and get the 2-point conversion and win the football game. So 16 unanswered points won the game last week. But that's one, again, that I don't think you forget. You have to remember in this game because, again, it's your wake-up call. And this team has not had enough wake-up calls this season. Finally, they have one. And so what if they don't go perfect? Does that really matter? Let's get nasty. Port Huron. Number 2 on the kick return, Ryan Barnes. 15, now 20. 25, hit hard, still going. 30, fumble. I think the refs are saying he's down. Big Reds jumped on the football, but Ryan Barnes came up with the ball anyway. And out to near the 30. So this Ryan Barnes as a kick returner looks pretty strong right now for Ortonville Brand. Well, officially, because I've got it in front of me here. Well, we'll look at the replay here first, just to see what Ortonville Brand's doing. There you see Ryan Barnes. Came across the 15, decided to go across the field, and good blocking to do just that. Almost a horse collar tackle, actually, there by the Big Reds, but brought down nicely by 25, Josh Bradshaw. Incompletion here, Montez Jackson, little number 4. Me and the Ox, the big Ox, Sean Went, we were talking earlier before the game. And he was even admitting how good number 4 is. Little number 4. He's a pleasure to watch. He really is. Fun to watch little guys take over a game like he does. But this whole secondary for the Big Reds really has performed all season long. Speed, size, great combination. They bend, but they don't break. Mahaffey airing this one out deep. Hutchinson, excellent pass defense again. Ryan Barnes intended receiver, but broke up first by 18, who so far has clearly been the player of the game for the Big Reds. He kind of gets lost in the talent. And it's unfair to say that because he's an excellent little cover corner. Well, I say little, Hutchinson. Well, he's 5'8", 140. But with Watkins, Jackson, of course, Winslow back there, you could see how he might get lost. But believe me, 18 is a heck of a talent. 3rd and 10 from the 30. Mahaffey to pass, airing it out deep again. Just basically throwing it to Coach Mullins over there on the sidelines. Coach Mullins never even tried to catch that ball either. I guess he figured the play sheet was more important. Nothing special to what Mahaffey's doing right now, though. He's just stepping back, throwing off his back foot, and lobbing the ball. It's a spiral, but, you know, you can't lob the ball against this defense. You zing the ball to move the ball if you're a passing offense on a defense that is this fast and this talented. So maybe he was throwing it away there. I don't know. Here's the punt, nonetheless. Another good one. Pushes Winslow back again at 35, just lowers his head, and he's boomed right at the 38. By a bunch of Ortonville Brand Blackhawks. Again, this is CPHS, Channel 6, and again, in case you don't know, Week 10 with the Big D, Derek Wark. Again, reminder here for you, bigdsports.info, where I talk about the games I call play-by-play for. I call it as I see it, and I tell you all about it on my blog, bigdsports.info. Couldn't write about any game last week. I wasn't here for the Huskies and their game. They had a good win to finish off their year with, so that's nice for the seniors. They beat St. Clair nicely last week, so great for them. They went out 5-4. Unlike the Big Reds last year, they could not get the playoff bid, but still, excellent job by the Huskies to win that game and overcome a tough 1-3 start and finish 5-4. Immediate give, brought down, got 3, maybe 3.5. Big Reds continue to run the football, and why not? They're up 13. 59 the tackle, Matt Selak, talented linebacker for Ortonville Brand. Well, again, last week, Big Reds were leading Madison Heights Madison officially 27-12, 6 minutes left. Winslow muffed a punt, we know that, leading to a quick Madison touchdown. They went for 2, they got it. Big Reds claim it never hit Winslow. This is offside, by the way. It looked like the left guard jumped first, so that'll push the Big Reds back 5, and they'll replay 2nd down, which will now be 2nd and long. But the Big Reds claimed the ball never even touched Winslow last week as he tried to return it on the bounce. Then apparently at the last minute he decided just to not pick it up, and officials say it hit his foot. There's really only one person who knows for sure not if it hit its foot, and that is number 3. But either way, it's over and done with now. But Big Reds downhill last week after that one. Scoring was 22-7 for Madison in the 4th, coming all the way back and beating the Big Reds in a major upset. But particularly, they beat him in 1 quarter of football, even a half a quarter of football, tying it up at 27, actually 26. Went for the 2-point conversion. They got it, a 28-27 final. All of a sudden, goodbye perfect season. Hello 8-1. In just a matter of 6 minutes with 16 straight Heights Madison points. But Winslow's numbers from last week, he still had a good game, mind you, as you'd come to expect from that man right there, number 3, as you see him. The Winslow show on many occasions. 25 carries, 172 yards on the rush, 5 of 11, 68 yards on the pass, but he had a 1-yard touchdown run, a 40-yard touchdown run as well last week. So he had a nice game as usual. This one to the outside, caught by Robotham, pushed out of bounds, got to about the 45, not enough for the first down, and it brings up 4th down and a very, very big play if Coach Mullins decides to go for it here. Smolik 2 for 30 last week, reception-wise. Robotham 2 for 37. Terez Watkins a 3-yard touchdown run as well. There's E.J. Shea, big fella in the truck. No, I cannot read your mouth. I am not a lip reader. And he looked downright purple in that truck. Is that his natural color tonight? I don't know. I really don't. But he looked purple. The big purple fella in the truck, E.J. Shea. There you go. They've decided to punt on this one. Robotham. High one. Signals fair catch at the 20, right on the money. Ryan Barnes. 4, Montez was over there just in case with 18, Hutchinson. So 13-0 Big Reds. Score remains with 2:06 to go in the first. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS, Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District television station. A few other stats last week. The King, KJ Thomason, 65 rushing yards. Rockstar Carl Portis Hollier, 49. Total rushing yards in the game, though, listen to this. 332 to 187 for Port Huron. Total yards, 400 to 292, and they lost? That just goes to show you, as the great Yogi Berra once said, it's never over until it's over. First down carry for the Blackhawks. Gets to the outside, got a couple. And that'll bring up second down. Again, Blake Rehan listed as the go-to tailback on this club. I think Blake Nevelt is the one right now getting the carries, but shotgun look here. Mahaffey on second down and about 5. Immediate give, taken down right away, right at the line of scrimmage. Excellent job. Big Red penetration. 55 got him. Ali Fayad. Ali Fayad, one of the players named to the Port Huron Times-Herald's annual list of the best players in the Blue Water area. I believe he was named 19 earlier in the season, so again, great work by Fayad all season long. Third down and 5 from the 25. Mahaffey to pass again, looking right, pump fake. Outside, no. In the vicinity of Hutchinson again, but he's done great pass defense so far. That'll bring up fourth down. Keep in mind, Big Reds win tonight. We will be from Memorial Stadium again next week, depending on if the MHS AA lets the Big D do the game again, and the rest of the cast here at CPHS Channel 6. But records indicate it. Their bracket, it says they will get the home game again. So important to keep these playoff games a-rolling with home games here at Memorial Stadium, where, let's face it, it's just a different game. Punt takes a favorable Blackhawk bounce inside the 45 to the 41, now the 40. That's a pretty decent job on the punt by, I believe, 88 Cody Feltner, the punter. He's had a couple good ones so far. A couple of them have shaken up number 3, Winslow Chapman back there. 47 seconds left in the first quarter of Week 10, the playoff game. So far, a convincing game by the Big Reds. They're up 13-0. But against a spread offense like this one, you've got to make statements early and often. So far, they've made one early. Hutchinson, just played 2, picked one off. And very, very important at that stage, because if you'll recall, that came right off a gain of about 16 on first down for the Blackhawks. So, big-time play by a big-time player from the 40, 1st and 10. Showing safety blitz, they back off. Montez Jackson outside. Good spin move to avoid tackle, gets to the 45, roughed up at the 46, and pushed out of bounds, and we have some late activity here. Selak was over there, Ryan Barnes as well, pushing and shoving, and 4 got up Montez Jackson without his helmet on. I was going to say his hat, his lid, whatever you want to call it, but that's likely going to go against the Blackhawks. Well, you've got to be careful. I've said this in previous weeks. The wall is very, very close to the sidelines here. So this is the one area, the one place, the one stadium, if you will, that I think officials do watch the out-of-bounds sidelines a little heavier than they would in other places. You're not going to get away with any late hit or unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike after the play, anything like that here, because I think they will watch closer here. A lot of the high school football places, the stadiums, they play on a track. So you have the track and then you have the stands. Not here, folks. This is not a track. They've got the track behind us. Well, we have an ejection. I'm not sure who was ejected. But the referee gave the heave-ho to somebody, I believe. Here you see the replay again. Great job by Montez to get to the outside, because that was really his only running lane. Great pursuit by Ortonville Brand to get there, running on an angle to stop him. Well, they must have mouthed off, because I didn't see anything really in the way of unnecessary roughness there after the play. But again, the referees are right there watching, and you can bet. Right on the sidelines where the other team is, possibility of a bit of a skirmish over there. So somebody mouthed off. That's what it came down to. Shotgun look, man in motion, outside and around. They do a great job of quick defense. He didn't cut the ball up soon enough, and he got stopped after a minimal gain, if any. That was one, Anthony Dobson, on the reverse, or end around, if you will. Got to just shy of the 40. Basically, original line of scrimmage brings up 2nd down. Well, I don't see any signs thus far, unless the Flint Metro League is totally dominant, which I can't see. I see no signs of why this Ortonville Brand team should be a 5-4 football team. We'll talk more about that in a second. But so far, so good if you're a Big Red fan. Week 10, folks. The playoffs. Big D Derek Wark, a happy Big D so far, as the Big Red fans are too. Their team leads 13-0 over Ortonville Brand. Second quarter in a moment. It's quarter number 2 from Memorial Stadium on Week 10. Derek Wark, the Big D for CPHS Channel 6. Happy to be along. I don't see many of these Week 10s. I don't see many 9-0 seasons, let alone 8-1. It would have been the first time since 1952 the Big Reds would have been 9-0, but they didn't do it last week. They were upset. So far, so good on this week, though. They lead 13-0, round 1 of the playoffs, the MHS Double A's. Ortonville Brand, the Blackhawks, visiting this evening. So far, Big Reds on top, 13-0. Here we go, play 1, 2nd and 11 from the 41. Over the middle, almost picked off. Good pass defense by the Blackhawks. That was Mark Chapman, by the way, who threw that one. So far, he's been in and out of this football game. One thing about him getting hurt, he's not going to bust any for, 40 yards anymore. That's the one thing. He's got to heal as he plays, and that's unfortunate for him, but Winslow's got to be the one that's got to break the big play. That's all there is to it. It's a rush-first offense. And they're trying to work Mark in there as much as they can, but easier said than done at this point with his injury. We'll see as the game goes along. Again, CPHS Channel 6, Derek Wark, Big D. Great times here at Memorial Stadium, Week 10. You can't argue with the playoffs ever. Montez off the play fake. This is Winslow. 30 and hit hard inside the 30-yard line of the 28. 13 among tacklers, Anthony Gunn. Winslow gets up kind of gingerly, but he's all right. That play fake with Winslow, very, very dangerous, depending on that first step he makes. If he gets through the line, again, he becomes very, very dangerous. And so far, so good on that play. Winslow is checked out now. It's Mark Chapman in there as the only Chapman. Winslow might be banged up a little bit. Like I said, he got up there a little gingerly. Two-back set. Mark Chapman, shotgun, almost bobbled the snap. Give Portis Holyer up and down to the 23. And again, sixth to tackle, Nicholas Wummel. Well, scores, schedules, directions to schools, and so much more can be at your fingertips with the new MHSAA mobile app for your handheld device. You can track your favorite teams, submit scores from games, check out blogs and other info with the free MHSAA mobile app, now available for the Android, the iPhone, and the BlackBerry. For more information, visit the MHSAA website. And of course, it's a message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Back to this one, 2nd and 5. Ball marked 23-yard line. 10 and 37 ticks to go in the second. Flags all over the field. The Big Reds might have been a timeout. Yes, they called one. Well, Port Huron High tonight, in search of their first ever, and I had to read this because I didn't believe it. You mean to tell me that back in 52, when this team went 9-0, they didn't win a playoff game? Apparently, they're in search tonight of their first ever postseason victory. Wow. I'm baffled by that. Obviously, with Ryan Mullins in there now, this is a Big Red football team that has gone beyond winning games. Their goals now are to win divisions. Hello, ladies. I don't even know where that is, where they're waving. It's a bit of a makeshift crew tonight. We've got a lot of young kids on crew. And a lot of cynics. That cynic family just keeps on multiplying. I'll tell you, there's new cynics everywhere I look. Year after year, but I was baffled reading that. I really was. I could not believe that it would be the first ever playoff victory for the Big Reds. Wow. 2nd and 5 from the 23. Shotgun, Chapman again. Give Portis Holyer, the rock star, to the 10. Maybe the 11. Again, the last time the Big Reds were 9-0, and that's a record that is going to stand now, 1952, 59 years ago, and it still stands. Interestingly enough, too, it's the first time the Blackhawks from Ortonville brand have made the playoffs since 2000, so they've been an 11-year absence out of that Flint Metro League for making the playoffs in their own right. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the 11. They don't have to score. They can get a first down, but it'd be very close. The give. Portis Holyer is eaten alive. Opening up that cup again right there. Well, when you've got penetration that is that good out of the defensive line, you're just going nowhere. Brighton Davis. Boom. So a loss of a couple. We have not seen Winslow since he got up kind of slowly and went off to the bench. He's getting instructions down there, and he's standing there. It's not like he's sitting down, so I don't think his injury, if he is even hurt, is that serious. They might want to try just Mark on some snaps on his own here right now. Second and goal, they're saying, from the 13, actually. That's what the scoreboard says now. Mark Chapman, little dish-off pass. And that's one that I guarantee you, if he played last week and all of the week before he makes that pass, he's a little jittery yet. It's normal, quarterback position. And you don't want to get hit either. That's the other thing. Because you're kind of still, you're wobbly. I don't know how strong his leg is at this point. Again, he practiced all week long, but put a lot of weight on the leg, and they weren't sure. They called him a game-time decision. Needless to say, Mark back in the game. I believe Winslow is too. So here they are again now on this very important 3rd down and 12 from the 13, they're saying. That scoreboard keeps switching that around. 3rd and 12 now at the 13. There we go. Shotgun. Mark airing it out. Corner, end zone for Alex Smolik. And he did everything he could to try and catch that ball, but it was just too far. I like what they're doing there, though, because you're utilizing the fact that Smolik has size and hands, and you're lobbing it up for him. But you're also taking the fact that it's man-to-man coverage, and you're saying, we'll take that all day. I would go to him again right now, if need be. Do the exact same thing if they guard Smolik man-to-man. What do you have to lose? Obvious size mismatch. Well, they're going to kick the field goal here instead. Brandon Huntoon from 30. Placed down. Kick is up, and Huntoon missed wide right. So again, with 9:07 to go in the second. Big Reds on top, 13-0 over Ortonville Brandon. Again, Derek Work, Big D, CPHS Channel 6. And apparently we can't show my pearly whites on the camera tonight. Camera difficulties, technical difficulties before the game. Actually, it's a testament to the crew down there that we even got this game a-rolling the way it was going. They lost power late, but they're good to go now. That's the main thing. We just won't see the Big D on camera. And I'm sure we'll all live. Including me, believe me. 1st and 10 from the 20, 9:07 to go. Shotgun look here. 2 backs in the shotgun tee. Mahaffey rolling out left, stops, now throws it deep, wide open, man. Caught at the 45, 35, and down to the 32. Cody Feltner just split the Big Red D and somehow slipped through. Well, there's a missed assignment there. That's all there is to it. Somebody let Feltner go, and he just went straight down the middle of the field. There was no pass defense on Feltner at all. He just split a seam. Big Red's obviously in a run defense. Here you see wide open. Winslow's doing all he can to catch him there, and I think he made the tackle, but a little bit too late for the Big Reds. Next carry on 1st down. Got about 7 more inside the 25. Maybe to the 24. That's 20 again. Blake Rehan, tailback of Ortonville Brand. Don't be shocked. They might be 5-4, but this, again, is a football team that can move the ball. Shotgun T look again this time. They've gone away from the spread look. From the 25, 2nd and 4. Give to the outside, almost bobbled the ball. Now he tries to cut it, but he's met hard and brought down hard by big 17, Alex Smolik. 22 the carry this time, Blake Nevelt. And Raven Randall on the tackle. So I just got confirmation, yeah, Raven Randall. A true freshman in varsity, and I have not said his name yet this season. I guarantee you I'd remember. And he's having a great game. When you consider the fact that he's a freshman out there with these senior-type players, that's really a statement from the linebacker position. So, well, I'm not quite sure what they're doing here, some kind of a measurement. I think it was a good mark because I'll tell you something, it did not look like they had the 24-yard line. And they marked him at the 22. Inside the 22, they call 1st down. Well, they must have got some extra. That's all I can say. Here's a look at the replay there again. See where he gets to. They're on the 26 right here. Well, at least where they snapped the ball from. He almost bobbled it. Here you see he's cutting. Well, he did get in there. Yeah, I guess he did. Yeah. Wasn't sure at first, but he got it. My eyesight's getting bad in my old age. What can I say? Ha, not much. From the 21 on 1st and 10. 7:50 to go in the second. Revelt, the pitch. Winslow missed him. Another missed tackle outside inside the 10. Might have the first down. Watkins and Chapman, both an opportunity to make that initial first tackle, couldn't do it. They're saying he stepped out of bounds earlier than that. I believe ball being marked on the 14 brings up second down. So now Ortonville Brand trying the hard-nosed smash-mouth style offensive formation. Two backs, one blocking. Straight up, straight down. Close, no cigar. Third down and short now. And that is a crowded roof. There you see CPHS, the sign there, as well as Go Big Reds. Always a crowded roof up top. They're quiet up there, too, because I don't hear them. Third down and 1 at the 12. Huge play right here for the Big Red defense. QB sneak. He's got it. No problem. Almost to the 10. Maybe right smack dab right in the middle of the 10. First and goal for Ortonville Brandon. So definitely the most convincing drive thus far for the Blackhawks. They've got to try and keep this going. They are a dangerous football team. I said that beginning of the broadcast because they can do a lot of things offensively. They have the personnel. Rivette again. Inside the 10. Inside the 5 to the 4. Maybe the 2. So the way they're moving the ball, you can almost bet they're going to score here and make it a one-possession football game. And as I said when the Big Reds earlier this season when they played Utica Eisenhower, you let these underdog teams mess around, fool around in the fourth quarter, have them down one possession, anything goes. You don't want to be in that position. The snap, the handoff, immediate touchdown, Ortonville Brand. They got in, 22, Blake Rivette. So that certainly adds a new dimension to this football game now. As of right now, without the kick, it's a one-possession game. It's going to be a tough one for the Big Reds. They're going to have to reach back and get it because despite a strong first quarter, this second quarter has been anything but convincing for them. So the extra point try now coming for Ortonville Brand, trying to make it a 13-7 football game. I'm not shocked by this. I called this. I called a 28-20 win for the Big Reds, but not an easy 28-20 win for the Big Reds. Kick is up and it's good. You never overlook a playoff team. I don't care what division they hail from. I don't care what conference. Doesn't matter to me. You never overlook a playoff squad. You always expect playoff games to be close. Here you see, it's just smash mouth. That is one big, big center, too. 51 there. Wow. Justin Missets. I said his name earlier. It doesn't list the heights and weights of the kids on the roster of the Blackhawks, but I'll tell you something. He's big. One of the big meat eaters up front. Montez Jackson back to return this kickoff, as well as Winslow Chapman. Big Reds have got to be careful here. They've got to answer the call, because right now the crowd is very quiet. And you don't want quiet. That is why you get the home game, so they can be loud, so they can be in your face. You earned it, right? That's why you go 8-1. You don't want to see the Big Reds get in this habit, though, of kind of being lulled to sleep. You've got to play 4 quarters of football. They try the squib kick. Oh, that is a great presence of mind to jump on that football at the 47-yard line because he was the only up man to take it. 13, Tyler DeBuff. He might have saved a turnover there, no doubt about it. He was prepared for that squib kick. I'll tell you something, I was not, and the Big Reds weren't. And I'll tell you something, this could have been a disaster had they have kicked that squib kick further left, because I didn't see any Big Reds. They've went back deep. Goodness gracious, did they get lucky on that one. Tyler DeBuff, thank you. Oh, he might have saved more than we realize on that. 3 wide, 2 back set here, 1st and 10 from the 47. Chapman the fake. Right at the line, brought back, pushed back at the line. Maybe a gain of 1, maybe 2 if he's lucky, brings up 2nd down. You've got to seize the momentum, though, when you have the home playoff game, and so far that has not happened. Again, happy early Halloween to you and yours, folks. And if you're wondering why the Big D is not on cam, I said it earlier, it's not because I scare everybody with my face for Halloween. I don't need a mask. They haven't put me on camera tonight because they're afraid of me. That's right. So there you go. Has nothing to do with technical difficulties. They're just scared to look at the Big D. There we go. End around. Montez outside. No. It's not going to work on this defense unless you cut earlier. They are a pretty good side-to-side defense. I'm actually impressed with them for being 5-4. It doesn't look to me like this team should be 5-4. Apparently, out of the gates, I had the information earlier. This was a team that won 4 of their first 5 games. They were 4-1 this year after 5, but they went 1-3 down the stretch. Another interesting thing about Ortonville Brand, though, it said they were 4-4 in their division. You mean to tell me they had 8 divisional games? That certainly is different than what the Big Reds play in their 5. 3rd down and long. Winslow back to pass. Trying to get to the outside. He does. Did he stay in bounds? He did not. Get to the 45 of Ortonville Brand. That's going to bring up 4th down. The sheer speed of Winslow got positive yards. That is the only thing that made it interesting. And we know, because I've made note of it in previous weeks, this is a guy that does not want to run out of bounds. Winslow wants to cut the ball. We know that. But there, he had to run out. If you're wondering, if you've just joined us, Mark Chapman has been in and out of this football game. Listed as a game-time decision before the game. His leg is not taped up in any way. But he's been in and out. He has not started. Winslow started, and here he is now. 4th down and short. Winslow, play fake again, gets a block, jumps upfield. Very close. I don't think he's got it, though. It depends on the spot. I don't think so. He was tripped up, and he might have made his jump too soon. That's very close. I don't think he's got it, though. 1st down, Ortonville, Brandon. What a huge stop, considering they have the momentum now. Look out. It's the kind of game now that the Big Reds are just going to have to reach back, and they're going to have to get it. It's not going to fall in their laps. This is getting scary now because they had the momentum. It's a game of momentum swings, and once you have it and you're at home, you've got to keep it. Here we go from the 44, 1st and 10. The Blackhawks come out. Big Red crowd getting on the defense now. Shotgun T look again. Mahaffey. 1st down, flagged. So likely in the offense, pushing them back. Big D. Glad to be in the big booth yet again for another big Week 10. I saw Week 10 last year. It was the Huskies, mind you, but I like the fact that usually you get one of the Port Huron teams this year, nowadays, this century. We've had it most years, one of them. By the way, false start penalty on Ortonville Brandon, pushing them back, brings up 1st down and 15 now. Here you see the play called dead. But both the Huskies and the Big Reds now, their goal every year is to make the playoffs, where realistically, could they have made that goal 10 years ago? Well, actually, the Huskies were better 10 years ago, even 15 when I started calling the Huskies, and the Dan Hanton run and gun type years, but nice to see both Port Huron clubs fighting for playoff spots most seasons. As the Blackhawks call timeout here with 4:37 ticks now left in the second and 13 to, I believe, 6. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6. So, one possession game. Big Reds came out on fire. 18. Corey Hutchinson, the early pick. Brought it into about the 14. Next play, Winslow. Rushing touchdown. Got him on the board, missed extra point. At that point, 6-0. They brought it downfield again, scored again. It was 13-0. And then, of course, Ortonville Brand just answering the call on Nevitz scamper into the end zone for their first touchdown of the football game. That's where we stand at 13-7. And the Blackhawks come out of their timeout. Not the easiest numbers to read all the time up there on the scoreboard. And they change it a lot too, so forgive the Big D for that one. Anyway, here we go. First down and long. Shotgun look. 4 wide. 2 and 2. Far side and near. Mahaffey, play fake. Looking. Now backwards. Great rush from Fayad. Now airing it out deep and just threw it away. And you could almost make an argument there that there was no wideout in the vicinity. Barnes was over there, but is he close enough? Well, Ali Fayad just did a great job there. Didn't quit, did everything he could to get that pass rush finished up, but you got to like this Mahaffey. He likes to get outside of the pocket. He's much like a healthy Mark Chapman. He gets out and tries to make things happen. And in a spread offense, if you can buy time because you've got strength in numbers, usually somebody's open when you do that, as we've seen so evident with the Big Reds and the early success this season of Robotham. Second down and 15 from the 39. And another timeout, it looks like the Blackhawks, an equipment timeout, which makes it an official timeout and to no avail. So here we go again. I believe 2 timeouts left for the Big Reds, if the scoreboard holds true with all the lights out. And 1 for the Blackhawks. Second down, shotgun look, Mahaffey, immediate give. Nevitt, nothing. Might have got close to the original line of scrimmage, bringing up third down and a very big play coming. Now we'll see if Ortonville Brandon just chooses to run this football here and continue to run the clock down. They're letting it tick right down right now. They're not in any kind of hurry to get these plays off. Rapson hustled off there. One of the faster runs I've seen him make. Jeez, almost taking out his players to get off the field. Shotgun look, Mahaffey, empty backfield, airing it out over the middle. Caught to the outside, down to the 29. Zmalik made the tackle, but a great adjustment first by 9, Derek Darling. And he was certainly a darling on that play, wasn't he? First and 10 from there. Zmalik had the coverage, but he lost him. Well, the Big Red schedule, August the 26th, they beat Warren Cuzno in Cuzno 26-19. Talk about that after this play here in a moment. From the 28, first and 10, shotgun T again. The give again, Nevet again, nothing. Rammed down hard. Zmalik got him. That Warren Cuzno game, they said, really kind of catapulted the Big Red season. They got the winning touchdown in the fourth quarter in that one, and really a great win for them August 26th. They then blew out Sterling Heights, they blew out Anchor Bay, and then, of course, the upset here, September the 16th against Utica Eisenhower. Here's the handoff. Flag is thrown right about the line of scrimmage. Got a couple, but we'll see what the flag's for first. Likely a hold of some kind against the Blackhawks. And that'll forever be the upset remembered from 2011, really. The game that I will never forget, the Eisenhower game. Because you talk about Warren Cuzno catapulting this Big Red team. That Utica Eisenhower one really set the pace. really showed you that this team was special. And the fact they went for 2 at the end really proved at that point that they had no fear. They were fearless. And it's a legal shift on the offense. That's going to set Brandon back. After that, they blew out Clintondale, they blew out Lance Cruz, and they even blew out Grosse Pointe South October the 7th. I couldn't believe that. That was a game the Big Reds walked into, and people were saying, this is it. This is for the Mac Blue title right here, right now. They still have to beat the Huskies the week after, but man, did Grosse Pointe South lay an egg, or were the Big Reds just head and shoulders that much better? They dominated that game and took home a share of the Mac Blue on that evening. Rest of that schedule in just a moment. But first, 2nd and 14 from the 32. Shotgun tee again. Mahaffey caught. 27. Brought down 24. And that'll bring up 3rd down. So they got a lot of that back. 81 the reception. Dylan Everett. These are big wideouts on this team. Again, it's a short yardage spread. They will get yardage in chunks. That's what they're designed to do. It's kind of a perfect offense, really, for this type of situation. You have 1 timeout, 2:40 left, and you're at the 25-yard line. This is exactly what this offense can do. Get the necessary yardage, keep the clock rolling, clock management, and get in the end zone. We'll see. Oh, another timeout being called now by the Blackhawks. That's their last one. So now they're running on clock time. Looks like I spoke too soon. 2:26 to go in the half. Finishing off the rest of the Big Red schedule 2011. October the 14th, they beat Port Huron Northern in a game where Northern was with them really for 3 quarters. And then they just plain pulled away. I think true talent kind of took over in that one, but the Huskies, I thought, played a real spirited game. And October 21st, that was last week, they lost the 28-27 heartbreaker to Madison Heights Madison in Madison. And of course tonight, October the 28th, versus Ortonville Brand. Significant game, of course, week 10. Love that fact. Round 1 of the playoffs. Big D's all about playoffs, sudden death, all the rest. Because that's why you play these games. That's what you play football for. To get in these situations and to get there with a home game. But the fact that I've never seen week 2, I've never seen a Port Huron team win week 10 and play past Halloween. Big Reds, I want it. Big D's behind you up here in the booth, without a doubt. Here we go. 3rd down. They're saying 6 from the 25. 4 wideouts again and 1 back set. This is Mahaffey. Talented 3rd-year quarterback. Back to pass. Outside. Wideout screen over the middle. Plenty of yards and more. Inside the 10 to the 6, maybe the 5. 1st and goal. Blackhawks. That was set up perfectly. A perfect play call, and the Big Reds were not ready to defend it. 88 Cody Feltner on the wideout screen. And again, the more wideouts you set out there, you have the screen set up in numbers because they're out there in the first place to block. 1st and goal. Nevitt dives forward to the 1. But a well set up play coming off the timeout. And that's good use of your timeout too. Channel 6, Employees Supreme. Hello. I was going to say, that doesn't look like Ed Sinek. Much younger version, maybe. Usually he's directing. He must have gone for a cup of coffee. Either that or he got young real quick. Which, he'd probably give me a pat on the back later for saying in the first place. But there you see it, midfield. Somebody wrote playoffs right there. 2011, nice to see. 2nd down and goal from the 3. No timeouts for Ortonville Brand. Up, over, touchdown, Blackhawks. You talk about a wake-up call. Coach Mullins has work to do at halftime, folks. Because this is not going their way right now at all. There is no momentum on this side. And I am on the side of the Big Red crowd. 13-12, I believe this to tie. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, the scoreboard has a lot of goofy lights up there. Extra point try to tie this one up. It's up, and it went through. So we've got 13 all now. Well, now they changed it. Okay, 14-13. That is some kind of scoreboard. 1:39 left. Second quarter. Don't look now, but the Blackhawks, 14 unanswered points on your Big Reds. Derek Wark, Big D. Happy early Halloween to you and yours, and the ghosts are starting to hit the field for the Big Reds. And a very restless, uneasy crowd right now. Just what the doctor ordered for Ortonville Brand. This is where your talent's got to take over. There's a reason why you're 8-1. There's a reason you beat Utica Eisenhower. It's not by accident. I really think they are that good. They are a big play offense that has not had the big play in this game. They've got to bust it wide open. It's their bread and butter. They've done it all season long. The Chapmans have got to win this football game. That's all there is to it. And I hate to send our players out, but it's just the truth. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. From the 12, Montez. The fake. They didn't buy it. Cuts up field, though. He's got a lot of open field. Montez Jackson, 40. He's past midfield to the 50. Now to the 40 of Ortonville Brand and down to the 37. You talk about what the doctor ordered. There's number 4. All 5'6", 140 of them. Happy Halloween, Montez. It couldn't come at a better time. Well, it seems whenever this team needs something, and I called it, they've got to get the big play. It's what they do. Well, it might have even got away with a face mask there, but look at all the open field he's got to work with. He's 30 yards of open field right there. He makes one more cut, you just never know, but at that stage, he's pretty tired. Off the fake end around on the kickoff. Winslow, and that play is just not working right now. That is the one intangible that Mark Chapman can give this offense, lining up behind center and having Winslow line up behind him. The fact that they don't have both Chapmans in there means their playbook is cut in half. Mark is out. Winslow is in. Shotgun look. 4 wide. 3 on the far side, 1 near side. Winslow to pass. Airing it. Dangerous pass. And just dropped hard. Big loss. Big Reds. Blackhawks are all over him right now. And we have a timeout in the field. This game has completely changed hands, boy. A second quarter completely owned by the Blackhawks. Coming off a first quarter completely owned by the Big Reds. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6. They've got to work on things at the half. The Big Reds do. That's all there is to it. But you are starting to see right now the difference that Mark Chapman makes in a football game. Winslow is great, we know that. But he's not a passer. He's not a passing quarterback. He's not even really a quarterback. But because he's got such great athletic ability, you put him behind center when Mark's not there. Man, look out here. 3rd down and long. Do they look at 2 play here? They have 1 timeout remaining. Do they look at maybe taking it into the half? Because don't forget, Blackhawks are out of timeouts. Big Reds may just be satisfied 1 point down, although I don't know why you'd call that satisfied, but it's being safe. 3rd and long, here we go. Winslow from shotgun. Here comes the pressure again. Gonna air this one out. Going deep, Alex Molick, sideline, and that's overthrown. And out of reach. Double coverage, but the second defender came late. A throw right on the money hits Molick for 6. You really have to take your hat off in this game to Ortonville Brand defensively, because that is where they said was a bit of their weakness. They are not playing like a 5-4 football team right now. Right now, they own this game. They're getting past the offensive line of the Big Reds, and believe me, not many teams have done that this year. They are winning the battle up front. Wow, I never would have thought it. From the 42, the punt. A forward Big Red bounce. They down it inside the 5 to the 2. Well, that's an excellent job. It really is. Hutchinson down the ball inside the 5. Well, now you call a timeout. They're going to maybe kneel, but do they have room to kneel? That punt right now by Winslow is huge, I'll tell you, because they don't have room. They can't just kneel. Big Reds have a timeout left. They may consider even using it. Normally you'd kneel, make the Big Reds use their timeout, and you'd go into the half, but they don't have room to kneel. They've got to get this ball out of there. If you're the Big Reds, you use this timeout after this play. QB sneak. How far did he get? Not much. Well, now see, I use the timeout here. I don't let that clock run. I would call it. They're not gonna. I think they're gonna let it go. Scoreboard still shows one timeout. Because you make them snap the ball again in such brutal field territory, I cannot figure out why this clock is running. Unless the scoreboard is wrong, I see a timeout. I don't get it. Well, there you have the first half of play, and the Big Reds really have got to adjust because, trust me, folks, they are in trouble. Ortonville Brand Blackhawks 14, and the 8-1 Big Reds 13. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6, round 1 of the playoffs. Let's hope the Big Reds can recover. Welcome back to playoff football here, quarter 3, just about to get going here from Memorial Stadium. Once again, Derek Wark, Big D, week 10, and playoffs round 1. I say round 1 wholeheartedly because I fully expected the Big Reds to make round 2. So far, that's looking like it might be a little bit up in the air. 14-13 visiting Ortonville Brand Blackhawks have come in here, and basically they were a little overwhelmed in the first quarter. I think Big Reds had their way with them. It was in danger of becoming a blowout victory for the Big Reds, another one of those typical games that we've seen so much of this season. But when the second quarter began, it was a completely different story, a completely different team, and in a way you could say so far this week 10 matchup has been a game of quarters. The first quarter, again, all PH. 13-0, it could have even been worse than that. Second quarter, all Blackhawks, and it could have been worse than that. Blackhawks, to me, though, on the whole, if you summarize that first half, it's scary. Because to me, it looks like they're outplaying them. The Big Reds, to me, look tired. Up front, they're being beat. And this is a team that all year long, even against Utica Eisenhower, they did not get beat up front. So that is a big concern. And this is a 5-4 football team from the Flint Metro League. It makes me really wonder and question just how good the Flint Metro League is. Are they playing that well, or are the Big Reds just not in their game plan tonight? We'll have to wait and see, but the biggest single key is Ortonville Brand, the Blackhawks, they have shut down the Big Reds' big play capacity. They haven't done it. They've shut down the Chapmans. I've said it all along. The way you beat the Big Reds, because they're a rush-oriented team first and foremost, you beat them by shutting down the rush, obviously, and that means Mark and Winslow Chapman. Now, Mark is hurt. He's been in and out of the football game, but Winslow has been contained for the most part in this game, and that's a definite tribute to Ortonville Brandon and the Blackhawks. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6 from Memorial Stadium. The third quarter just about underway. Are you ready, Port Huron? Happy Halloween to you and yours indeed. Woo, thriller night, but the Big Reds have got a lot to do to make it a true blue thriller night the way things have gone. Because Ortonville Brand, as they went to the locker room, I think felt real good about themselves, like they were in control. And I said it at the end of the half. I'll say it again. I can't really understand why the Big Reds let that clock run down. I mean, I call that timeout. I make Ortonville Brand snap the football one last time, just if for nothing else, because you can fumble the football. Nothing is ever a guarantee. I mean, if you said that 100%, they have a 100% chance of snapping that ball cleanly, nothing is for sure. I would have taken the timeout and made them snap the ball again, even if it was a kneel down. They didn't have much space over there. They were only on the 1 yard line to close out the half, but that's the way it goes. Brand new half of football here. We'll see if the Big Reds can recover from being down 1, and the upset might be underway, but don't want to jinx them. Let's get nasty Port Huron instead. They try a squib kick, the Blackhawks. Off the bounce, gets to about the 39, stopped right there. Good return, good field position for the Big Reds. Get it about the 40-yard line, and that's where the Big Reds will begin on their opening drive of the second half. I believe it was Therese Watkins on the kick return for the Big Reds. Well, this is something that is not going to be handed to them. They've got to earn it. And you know what? They've earned it all season long. Last week, a scare. They'll tell you they didn't play their best game. But really, they haven't had any other game in basically the 8 other weeks that would say they haven't given everything they've got. But in this game, I'll tell you, it's a different Big Red team. They've got to get back to their bread and butter and what works, and that is the big play. Offhand off, Winslow straight up, dragged down, got 2. Out past the 40 to the 43 of his own and Big Red 43-yard line. That brings up second down. Big D, Derek Warwick, CPHS Channel 6. Special thanks again to the makeshift crew down there tonight. We've got the biggest crew I've ever seen, and a younger crew, we'll say that. Got some public schoolers, I think, even in there tonight, so they're learning something, that's for sure. Having a good time. Listening to the Big D down there in the van. Then go home and tell their parents, we know the Big D now. The fake on the end around, Winslow straight up the middle, pushed back again, minimal gain, if anything, quarterback sack. 81, Dylan Everett. This team does not pass the ball with Winslow behind center, and Ortonville Brand is doing a great job at focusing and realizing you stop the Winslow show, you stop Port Huron right now. Mark has checked back into the game. But look for Zmolik and Robotham. If they are going to do something, if the run is being shut down, these are the go-to guys who have done it all year, particularly Great 8. They've got to start using these guys. Here's the snap. Mark Chapman gets it. Airs it out. Caught Zmolik. Finally, they use him. Past midfield down to the 48. First down, Big Reds. That's better. Blake Nevitt on the tackle. I said that 2 weeks ago to Alex Zmolik's dad down there at halftime one of these weeks. I said, you know what? They don't use your son enough for his size, his speed, and his skill. And he said, I know. Well, to win this game, they might have to. You shouldn't have to, but great player to go to. 1st and 10 from the 47. Mark Chapman outside again. Caught again. First down again at the sticks. 6 caught that one. Zach Zmolik. That's a lot better. And if it takes talented number 5 to stand in there with half a leg, maybe it's got to happen. We see the difference this kid makes time and time again. Yeah, wide open. Drop back zone on that one. 5 wideouts. 1st and 10 from the 37. Handoff, Winslow, end around, cuts up field, can't get much. They are doing a phenomenal job of shutting down Winslow Chapman tonight. Something that no other team has really done. 59 the tackle, Matt Selak. They've done a great job defensively tonight. Well, this year the good sports are all winners. The award returns to honor those teams displaying good sportsmanship at selected MHSAA tournaments. Over 1,000 teams will be recognized by the MEMIC Insurance Company. MEMIC is also providing sportsmanship educational materials to schools and is underwriting a series of sportsmanship summits across the state. Remember, sportsmanship is the educated choice, and they're good sports, and they're winners. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Back to the game, they hit Zmolik again, the wideout screen inside the 20 to the 17. And what did I just say? You've got to use your skill players at the skill player positions if you're going to win this game. It's clear the Blackhawks have done their homework. It's clear they've focused on stopping 3. You've got 8, you've got 17 on the outside, and if they're going to play off the 2 of them, you use them. That's all there is to it. They're not just ordinary wideouts. They've got talent. There's 2 Division I schools from the MAC next year that are aware of their talents. Winslow cuts up again, gets some yardage this time because he falls forward to the 15. 6 got him, Wummel. Sporting those pink shoes. Can't really tell from this angle. I think they're pink shoes and socks. Nice to see them honor, though. Breast cancer awareness. So many teams are doing it, so many players at so many levels in sports. And it's nice to see the respect. Much respect due. Gotta love it. Well, the Big Reds, their most convincing drive in probably a quarter and a half. And mainly because the resurgence of Mark Chapman. Winslow, right behind the lineman. I believe the right guard got a couple more, brings up 3rd down. Well, they've got to score here. That's all there is to it. Because the momentum swing was enormous. Mark Chapman, I think, is going to check out now. Now he's just getting late instructions from Coach Mullins. And I would think 2-play territory at the rate this game has gone. Huntoon has missed a field goal in this game. That might come into consideration by Coach Mullins as well. Big play here, though. 3rd down and 3. Again, 14-13, Ortonville Brand. The Blackhawks a 1-point lead here in the 3rd. 2 backs. Movement first. And it looks like offside Big Reds. Well, they got the timeout. Okay, timeout, Coach Mullins and the Big Reds. With 7:07 ticks to go in the 3rd, Ortonville Brand clings to a 1-point lead, 14-13. But the Big Reds, as I love to say, they're knocking on the Blackhawk door. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS. Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District television station. Again, the number to call, 810-984-6621 for continued programming information, as well as what's going on in the community. They've got the bulletin board up there. They'll tell you all about that. Call them up and say, Big D sent me. Big fella by the phone will answer that, E.J. Shea. And, of course, he answers calls around the week, as does Ed Sinek. I was going to call him E.J. Shea, as does E.J. Shea, but no, Ed Sinek. They take your calls as well about Friday All Request Show at Channel 6. That's right. You want to see a certain program, you call them. The one that gets the most votes, they re-show it on Fridays. All Request Fridays, CPHS, Channel 6. You call them and say, we want to see more Big D. Like cowbell, they need another prescription for more Big D. Well, tell them that. Call them up. Tell them. 984 6621. There you go. 3rd down and 3 from the 12. And a very big play here. I would think, again, 2-play territory, but we'll see. In a running formation, shotgun spread. The only wideout is Robotham on the near side. Shotgun. Winslow Chapman carries the load. Enough for a 1st down. Yes, it will be to the 6. He has not been able to break free tonight. But he has gotten necessary short yardage when they've needed it the most. And right there, they needed it in a big way. Again, I'm not shocked by the outcome of this game. I said this Ortonville Brand team would be tough. I called it before the game, and I'm sticking by it. Big Reds, 28-20. That was the Big D's prediction. I think it will be that close in a 1-possession game. So far, so good for that to come true. 1st down and goal from the 6. Mark Winslow cuts up behind center. Dives forward to the 4. And there might be a face mask. A flag came out late. And I think it will be. Well, that's just an automatic 1st and goal if it is. Unless they call holding. I think the first official over there indicated face mask. It is a face mask. First and goal, Big Reds. That'll be at the 3. So they're going to get in now. And long overdue, might I add. It's not that the Big Reds losing faith in the mighty Big Reds. Big D losing faith in the Big Reds, that is. But I'll tell you something. It was getting a little bit choppy there in the second. It was like ghosts have hit the field early and it wasn't Halloween yet. But they're right back on track. Ever since number 5 came back in this football game, it's a different team. Once they started wide open passing again. And they had to do it because the runs it wasn't working. Short running game wasn't working. First and goal from the 3. The fake. Inside. End zone. Touchdown. Big Reds. Winslow. Right behind center. Nothing fancy about it at all. That was the drive this team needed. And they hadn't had it, as mentioned, probably a quarter and a half of football since their last big drive like that. Ortonville Brandon was completely shutting them down. Not anymore. They could go for 2 and make this a 7-point game. Instead, they're just going to go for 1. Try and make it 20-14. Extra point try. Snap placed down. Huntoon. The kick is up. Kick is through. So 6:12 to go in the third. 20-14. Big Reds, and the crowd has come back to life. And boy, they needed that. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6. Here's the replay of that last one. QB dive. Now he got in. Took 53 with him, might I add, on that one. Brighton Davis. They've got a lot of big players on this Blackhawk team. I'll tell you, I am very impressed with them. They look kind of out of their place and out of their shell in the first quarter in this game. Almost like Memorial Stadium was a little bit too much for them, and so were the Big Reds. But once they settled down, they took it to Port Huron. That is a very, very important opening drive that PH just had, I'll tell you. Momentum swings are so huge in the game of football, and right now they've got the crowd back into it. You earn that crowd. That's why you won 8 of 9, to get this crowd on week 10. Now you want them as loud can be. I have never seen week 11. So far, so good. 20-14. Big Reds. And as they kick this one away again, happy Halloween to you and yours, and let's get nasty. Port Huron. Kick taken on the bounce. They jump on the football. That could be the Big Red football. The official word has not been given down there. They're going to talk about this. That ball clearly went enough, obviously. It's down at the 25-yard line. Ortonville Brand says they have the football. But I don't get that, because the ball clearly went to the 25-yard line. Did the Big Reds hop on the ball? Well, they're talking about this. I don't know what they have to talk about. They gave the ball to the Blackhawks, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't get it. The only thing I can think of is, did that ball go out of bounds? Did the ball go out of bounds? Did the Big Reds not have it when it went out of bounds? I don't think it hit them anywhere, the Blackhawks. Here's the replay again. Clearly left side. The ball must have went out of bounds. We'll see. Clearly it goes enough. Did they get the ball back and still be in bounds? It doesn't look like they're in bounds. Oh, man, I don't know about that one, folks. You've stumped the Big D. I don't know. When they're bobbling that football, it looks like the player who comes up with that ball is sitting on the out-of-bounds line. The ball clearly goes enough, obviously. Big Reds claim they had the football. It was all a matter of who had it last. Was it in play? And did the Ortonville Brand player have the ball before going out of bounds, before the Big Red player had it last? I don't know. There you see the replay again. Does Ortonville Brand end up with that football? I don't know. Anyway, back to this one. Second down, throwing it deep. Excellent pass defense, Corey Hutchinson. And that's a size mismatch, folks. It really is. The Blackhawks don't give their size on their roster, but the Big Reds certainly do. And as mentioned, Corey Hutchinson, 5'8", 140. That's a big size mismatch, but he's playing really well. He's stride for stride with, I believe, 88, Cody Feltner. Huge play for the Big Red D on 3rd and 10 from the 25. Big Red players trying to urge that crowd on. Crowd chanting defense, defense. Here we go. Shotgun T from the 25, 3rd and 10. 5:28 to go in the third. To pass, Mahaffey. Good pass rush. Cuts it upfield, but he's not going to be anywhere near the first down. The Big Reds down him. But wait a minute. A late flag. And I think they're going to call a hold against Ortonville Brandon. How about that, Big Reds? The break they finally need. The flag was late, so the hold had to be made on the tackle. Crowd is alive here in Big Red Country now. As I said, beginning of the broadcast. Slight copy of the Twilight Zone. Me, Big D, never. It's the Big Red Zone, folks. Yeah, so close to Halloween. Ortonville traveled to another dimension tonight. Not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey to a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. The Big Red Zone, and here we go on 4th down. They're going to be punting. Standing at his own 40, Winslow Chapman to return it. Big Reds up 20-14. 5:21 to go in the third. Derek Warwick, Big D, CPHS, Channel 6. Winslow to return this one. They got to be careful. That does not touch a Big Red. Watkins has to get out of there. Down to the 37. So good field position again. The Big Red D holds. We'll see if the offense can answer in just a moment. Well, the Channel 6 crew tonight is absolutely enormous. Most of them are cynics, but anyway, we'll start with the camera people. Cassandra Amaya, Kendra Amaya, Brittany Bugner, Melissa Shen, Jacob Kasick, Adam Nowitzki, Adam Cynic, Savannah Cynic, Selena Cynic, Sophia Cynic, and that's all the cynics, and I think we'll stop right there because I'm out of breath saying all the cynics, so I'll get back to you on the rest of the CPHS Channel 6 crew in just a moment. From the 38, 1st and 10. Jackson, play fake. On the end around, nothing. Wrapped up and downed, and they are jumping Winslow immediately. They are not buying that play fake at all. And any run Winslow is doing right now is being eaten alive. They seem to be checking Mark Chapman back in, and it adds the dimension that right now Ortonville Brandon is having trouble defending. Anyway, the rest of the crew, the Ox, Sean Went, slow-mo camera, Andy the Big Bad Wolf. And we'll talk about the rest of the crew yet again in just a moment. It's a big crew. Out of the offensive backfield, Winslow Chapman quick pass, but it's going to bring up 3rd down and long. Well, I saw this happening tonight. It was just a matter of how much Mark Chapman would play in this game. I knew he wouldn't be busting any with his leg the way it is. So you knew he'd be more of a drop-back passer tonight. But this is where the skilled players have got to come involved and get in the game for Port Huron. Interesting, too, did he get hurt in practice? I don't see him out there. Jalen Esters. He would be a big difference in this game, but I don't see him. So all the best to him if he's hurt. 3rd down and 9. Ortonville showing blitz. Picked up. Chapman airing it out. Deep. Smolik. Batted down. And it's incomplete, but I think they're going to get called for pass interference. 2 flags on the football field. It's a reaching over the back, I believe, and it's against Ortonville. Pass interference. Anyway, the rest of the Channel 6 crew, the slow-mo director is the big fella in the truck, E.J. Shea. That's the call, by the way, pass interference. Graphics, Aaron Bitzinger. She wasn't very happy when this production started tonight. I tried to cheer her up. It didn't work, but Aaron Bitzinger down there. And graphics. I hope she's smiling. And, of course, the production supervisor. Great job, as always. And running a crew of... How many is this tonight? I don't even know. I'm no mathematician, and I'm not going to sit here counting. But Ed Sinek, you got a big crew. You did a great job running it tonight, considering some of the difficulties at the beginning. So, hats off to you. Always a good time, Ed. And tonight, no exception, week 1 of the playoffs. Big Reds on top, 20-14. Late in the third, 3:37 ticks to go in it. They've got 3 backs this time. Offside, I believe. It's not like, too, on these passes that Ortonville Brand is not getting pressure on Mark Chapman. He wore it the last time. And it's important that he gets in there and gets the snaps and gets the throws, but not only that, that he gets hit a bit. Because that's part of the game. You have to take your snaps, you have to take your licks and get used to the flow again. But base it around your injury, too. Very, very important, and so far, so good. On-the-job kind of training for him tonight, Mark, of course. Listed as questionable going into the game, a game-time decision, but he's been in and out. First down and 15. Chapman. It's a fake. He almost lost the football. Dangerous. Sacked at the 48. 22 got him. Blake Nevelt. I'll tell you something. This Black Hawk defense is flat out attacking, and I think this might be the best job all season long of controlling the Big Reds up front. This is a top-notch offensive line, folks. They have opened holes all season long. All game long, with the exception of maybe the beginning of the first quarter, I think, in my opinion, the Blackhawks up front have beat the Big Reds. And I never thought I would say that this season, unless maybe you get to MAC Red competition later on. They've done a great job. They have done their homework. Montez Jackson, play fake. Winslow Chapman. Back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a bit more than that, out past the 46 and maybe to the 45. That brings up third down and long. Sooner or later here, they're going to look outside to 8 or Smolik again. You'd think it'd be inevitable. They've got to use those guys to win this game. I'm almost sure of it. They've got to. It's the one thing that Ortonville Brandon looks like they cannot defend against, especially when they throw Smolik's way, as demonstrated earlier. Third down and 9 from the 46. Ortonville showing blitz again. Picked up. Screen look. Winslow can't shake them, though, and he gets brought down. Loss of yardage. Big Reds are going to have to punt. They are not even looking Robotham's way tonight. A kid with that much talent and ability, you've got to get him the football. That's all there is to it, and they haven't done it. For whatever reason. Robotham at his own 39 to punt this one back to the Blackhawks. With a minute 22 to go in the third. Anybody's game still. It's been a dandy from Memorial Stadium. Big Reds haven't been sharp on all cylinders, but they've got the lead, and that's all that matters. Good bounce, Robotham. Got it inside the 15, about the 13. That's where they'll get the ball. Not too bad at all, Tyler. So this game could conceivably come down to the Big Red defense, really. And a defense that really has done a good job against this passing spread, this short yardage offense. But a defense that is not a shocker that they're doing well tonight. They move the ball a little bit. That's normal. A defense does not stop a spread for 4 quarters. They're in a run look right now, though. First and 10 from the 14. Give left side, behind left guard, nothing. Might have lost yardage. This time the Big Reds were ready. Randy Trice. It's Trice. That's nice, that tackle. And Rapson was over there too. So the Big Reds right now have got to take advantage of this field position opportunity and stop Ortonville. We'll see if they can. They're in run formation again. 2nd and 10 from the 12. They didn't gain anything on play 1. To pass, Mahaffey over the middle, wide open to the 30. Brought down, first down, Blackhawks. Well, that's a missed assignment, but Everett of Ortonville just kind of crept over the middle. I think it was just a sneak 'em and go crossing kind of a pattern. Hide around a zone and get open. He's hiding in here because it's a bunched up formation to begin with. He comes across the field and they don't see him. They don't pick him up. There you see it. Final 5 seconds of the third quarter. They might just let the clock go. The clock is at 0. That's the quarter. So after 3 complete from Memorial Stadium, we've got the makings of a great fourth quarter here on week 10. After 3 complete, Big Reds 20, Ortonville Brandon Blackhawks 14. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6. Stick around, folks. We've got a doozy of a fourth on the way next. Will we see week 11? That's the question as we head into the fourth. We're 1 quarter away from figuring that out. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS, Channel 6. Woohoo, Halloween and Thriller Night. So far, so good. 2014, Big Reds on top of visiting Ortonville Brandon Blackhawks, who have not played this game like a 5-4 team out of the Flint Metro. They've played hard. They've played tough. They've beat the Big Reds in many areas except the scoreboard, where the Big Reds right now hanging on by the blade in their tomahawk chop. Here we go. Met immediately, pushed back, and going nowhere. Randy Trice says, I don't think so. Brings up 2nd down. Well, I don't know what that play was designed to do. These quarterback sneaks right now in this playoff game are not working this late in the game. We've seen many from Winslow that have not worked tonight. Looks like 2nd down, about 12 from the 29. Big stand here by the Big Red D. 3 wideouts. Shotgun T look again. Big Red showing corner blitz, but a timeout first by Ortonville. At the very last minute, I don't know if it caused them to call timeout. Therese Watkins, number 14, came in on a blitz. And I don't know if he was faking the blitz, if he might have just gone for pass coverage or not, but he was coming. I don't think that alone caused the timeout, but right after he stopped, they called it. Maybe they were just coincidentally down on the play clock or whatever, but there's some of the Ortonville Brandon fans over there across the field from us. A Wummel fan, number 6 there. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Unless the Flint Metro League is through the roof with talent, this Ortonville team is not a 5-4 football team. They went 5-4, sure, but they're more talented than that. They started the year 4-1 apparently, and then just they blew it all late in the year. Ended up with just one more win after that 4-1 start. But they're better than that, I think. 2nd down, 11. Crowd is louder than loud. Here comes Watkins again on the blitz. Pass out in the flat, but he's going nowhere. Winslow, Smolik, pick one. And almost lost his mind after that tackle. Trying to throw Big Reds around, and nothing was called, but kind of a Frankenstein fit there by Dylan Everett. And that brings up 3rd and long. Big Reds might have suspected that exact same play call. And Therese Watkins did the exact same thing there. He blitzed from the safety spot again on that last play. He's dropping back this time though now. 3rd down and 9 from the 31. While Watkins comes up this time. Mahaffey outside, caught, no! Through his hands, and they're gonna have to punt. They tried to set up the wide out screen again. It worked for them earlier. But even if they do that, I'm not sure that it got the 9. Big Reds had the numbers over the middle of the field. And obviously a wide out screen designed to catch the ball on the outside, take it inside, and hope you got blocking. But I think Big Reds had too many numbers there across the field. Now see, he's going to cut that. Burns is going to catch that ball, and he's going to try and cut. Whether or not they'd have blocked off Smolik there, I don't know. Pretty good punt considering. Takes a kind bounce, rolls to about the Big Red 39, and that's where they'll have it. So now it's about running down some clock and getting some more points on the scoreboard. 10:24 to go in the 4th. Big Reds have the ball and the lead in the 4th quarter. What more could you ask at a week 10 of the playoffs? CPHS Channel 6, Port Huron Area School District, television station, Big D, Derek Wark. Couldn't be a better night for football here from Memorial Stadium tonight. No signs of bad weather, no signs of rain. It's cool out there, but you expect that this time of year. Almost Halloween. It's not the Twilight Zone, it's the Big Red Zone. And so far, so good. But it has not been easy. Shotgun, 2 backs again. Immediate give, Winslow, not much. And Winslow is having trouble because of the fact that he's not breaking through the line like he has in previous weeks. They're getting him right at the line of scrimmage, and he is not busting through. Which basically means that, 1, he doesn't have the hole size that he has on previous weeks. And 2, they're jumping the tackle right away. They're clogging the holes and they're making the tackle that Winslow has been known to get away from. He did it in the Husky game a couple of times, broke free. They're stopping him right at the point of contact tonight, and he's had a bit of a tough night by his standards. 2nd down and 8 from the 41. Mark Chapman in the game again. Winslow outside, got blocking, cuts it upfield. Good yardage this time, close to a 1st down, and I think he's got it. A lot of the people in the crowd here got up and showed their sign of a 1st down, and it will be. Now it won't be. They're calling 3rd down. Well, wait a minute. They're readjusting their spot. They may get a measurement here. No, now they're saying 1st down, Big Reds. That's just taking advantage of your blocking. Again, look at Robotham there, Smolik, 21, King Thomason. They've done this all year long. And I've mentioned it all year long. Outside, with Robotham and Smolik, you will not find a better offensive blocking football team than those 2 wideouts. They do a great job. They use their size well. From midfield, 1st and 10 again. Winslow gets through this time. Not much, but hey, he got 5. He's not breaking any, but short yardage as good as any if you keep moving the chains. And so far, they're doing that on this drive. And could we be seeing early signs of the Big Reds wearing down Ortonville? I don't know much about the school itself or the conference itself, this Flint Metro. But only good things I've got to say about them at this stage. A team like Ortonville comes to town and does this. They've done a great job tonight. 2nd down and 5 from the 45. The immediate give, King Thomason. Quickly up for 6 and a 1st down again, Big Reds. That was as quick of a handoff as you're going to find. He got the ball and he just immediately took that right off. And he got the first. There you go. 21, the King. 5'6", 160. Here you see the replay. Well, you got to hold on to the ball. That's first and foremost. That is paramount right now. You want to get the yard, sure, but do not drop that football. From the 39, first and 10. Winslow in motion. The give on the end around. Avoids one man. Avoids two men. We've got a block in the back. That's coming back. You know what? I think they got away with it once, but not twice, and I think Zmalik's the guilty culprit this time. So that one's coming back for the Big Reds. Well, nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. This message has been brought to you by the Michigan Athletic High School Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. There you go. MHSAA, and the playoffs have begun. That pushed the Big Reds way back. Personal foul, as I said, block in the back. But I think they got away with 2 blocks in the back on that run, so I actually do agree with that play call, or the penalty call in that case. Fans are clapping. I think it's more or less sarcastic clapping at the referees. Well, what did they do here? Did they re-talk themselves out of the penalty? Well, now they're going, okay, a 10-yard penalty. Okay, crowd cheering sarcastically again. So now it's 1st and 20 instead of 1st and 25. Okay. The zebra stripes never get enough credit, do they? Shotgun. Chapman, not much. 2 more maybe. But again, they've shut them down. The only thing available to the Big Reds tonight has been the pass. And knowing that, it's a good thing that Mark Chapman is in this game. Players of the game tonight. And defensively, I'm really impressed with Ortonville, top to bottom defensively. I think that they've been excellent. But Matt Selak has been a real noticeable contributor. So he gets it defensively for Ortonville. Selak. I'll get to the rest of the players of the game here. Both teams in just a moment. Well, I might get a chance right now. Timeout Big Reds with 6:39 ticks to go in the 4th quarter. 20-14. Big Reds still have the lead. Still holding on, and still they have the ball. Nerve-wracking, but nonetheless, they're winning, and that really is all that counts at the end of the day. Well, 22, Blake Nevette, you could also call him. Strong candidate for Defensive Player of the Game. Is that the Ox? It's the Ox giving the 2 thumbs up from a distance nonetheless. Usually we get him from a lot closer. So I say thank you to those getting him from a distance. And he gives the thumbs up. Big Michigan fan right there, though, definitely. Anyway, yeah, Selak, my player of the game. Defensively. Offensively, you got to go with, well, Blake Nevette. For Ortonville. Well, the Big Reds, you know, there's a lot of talented players on this team, obviously. They've all done a great job. 44 really stood out earlier, I thought, Raven Randall. So if anything, he gets an unsung hero kind of a calling in this game. I got to think about it defensively. Offensively, it's tough too, but I think you got to give it on the guts of Mark Chapman for coming back in this game, his first full game back, and, well, I guess not full game, but getting some passes complete and all the rest. Gutsy performance considering. And around, toss back, half-back toss, Robotham, Zmalik! He caught the ball! Coach Mullins digs deep into the play of tricks. He found one. The playbook of tricks worked well. What better than to pull out a gadget play in the fourth quarter of a game you're fighting for your life for? There it is. And first and foremost, you've got to have the right skilled players at those positions to pull off a play like that, and you've got to have faith in them. Tyler Robotham threw that football, and it worked. Here you see it's an end around, pitch back to the wideout. It's a wideout toss to the other one. Zmalik, man-to-man, got it. Winslow to the 5. Great job by Alex Zmalik to hang on to that football. Look at this again. And that's a great pass by Robotham. Makes you wonder why he couldn't have quarterbacked the last few weeks and kept Winslow a tailback. Goodness. I don't know where that arm's coming from, grade 8, but that's impressive stuff. And Zmalik, of course, what more can you say? Great hands, great concentration, and he made sure of that one. Big risk with man-to-man coverage. It didn't work. King Thomason, nothing. Maybe to the 4.5. Ortonville actually came up with that football. So good thing. Thomason on the carry. Here you see the replay of that great play again. It's an end around to start, even a reverse off the pitch back from Winslow. But look at this arm. Where is that arm coming from? Tyler Robotham, perfect. I mean, this is a guy that doesn't throw the ball that often. And there you see great hands by Zmalik to make sure he has possession of the ball, lays with it on his back to assure the referee sees it. That's a perfect job. 3rd down and goal from the 5. Big play here. Play fake. No, instead Winslow, keeper, end zone, touchdown, Big Reds. Well, it hasn't really been a Winslow-esque evening, but who cares? He's in, he got it, touchdown, Big Reds. And this has got to make Coach Mullins ecstatic because last week, and it's no big secret, they quit on him in the 4th. Not this time, not this week. I said beginning of the broadcast, it is so important that usually you overlook games you lose and you can't remember them. But this Big Red team, I think, had to remember that loss last week because it was their one thing they had to overcome all season. Timeout on the field. And I believe delay of game against the Big Reds. They were going to go for 2. That's going to push them back now. We'll see what they do now. But usually you take a loss and say, we've got to forget about it. We've got to think elsewhere. We've got to move on. But because of what losing last week meant, it was a true blue wake-up call to this football team. It showed them you have got to play for 4 quarters. You can't play 3.5 quarters and win in this league. You can't. So far, it hasn't been the most convincing victory in the world, but at least you can say the Big Reds have played for 4 quarters. The second quarter was not a great one, but at least they were in the game and they played hard. Mark Chapman airing it out, corner, end zone. No. But the main thing is at this stage, it's a 2-possession game right now. Now you can bend, but don't break. And watch the clock. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS, Channel 6, 26-14. 12-point lead, Big Reds. But the big play in this game, the biggest single play, was Coach Mullins pulling out his bag of tricks, the gadget play, the pitch back from Winslow Chapman, the tailback, to Tyler Robotham, the wideout. Wideout toss to the other one, Alex Zmalik. Setting up the Winslow Chapman from 6 out. and more than likely has put Ortonville away, but we won't let our chickens be counted before they're hatched. Not yet. Ghosts happened to hit the field last week. We don't want them to tonight. Does anybody know the number for Ghostbusters? It's Halloween after all. You never know. Happy Halloween to you and yours. So far, so good. Big Reds 26, Ortonville 14. Kickoff coming. Huntoon, let's get nasty. Port Huron. That is Ryan Barnes again. 25, 30, 35. Down to the 41. Ryan Barnes really all day long has done a great job kick returning. He really has. Big Red players of the game, your usual cast of suspects. I'm going to go with Alex Malik for bringing in the most important catch of the game on the gadget play. The biggest single play maybe, thus far anyway, of the 2011 Big Red season. From Robotham of all people. Big Red crowd getting very loud, making it tough for Mahaffey to call the play. Shotgun T, 3 wide, 2 in the near side, 2 in the far side. Check that 4 wide, and they have to call a timeout. And whether or not it was the Big Red crowd that was the factor there or not, who cares? Timeout Ortonville. There you see. Big Reds are 4 and 22 ticks away in the fourth from doing something that has never been done before. Win a postseason game at Memorial Stadium. What can you say except it's been a special, special season? Really, the foundation was laid out by Superintendent now, Ed Kindle. He said, you can call me Coach Kindell. Well, Coach Kindell, I guess. He laid the groundwork for what you now see. Coach Mullins inherited this team and just took over. And since then, as I said earlier, it's not about winning games anymore. It's about winning divisions. That's the difference. Here we go. Big Reds want to keep them in bounds and get this clock down to 0. Mahaffey, shotgun, 5 wide. To pass, wide out screen again. All kinds of blockers. Don't let him get to the outside. They don't. Nice tackle, 23 on the wrap-up, Malik Lewis. That play, as mentioned earlier, is designed to cut the ball up the middle of the field. If you take it side to side, you lose valuable time. That is why 23 made that play as well as he did. Low snap from shotgun, Mahaffey, outside. No indication yet from the official. I think he caught it and then went out of bounds, so that will stop the clock, but it will also bring up 3rd down. 2-play territory right now for Ortonville, no matter what. 3 and 30 ticks to go. There you see in the 4th. Big Reds up 2 possessions by 12. Ortonville just 1 timeout remaining, as do the Big Reds if you're wondering. Defensive player of the game for the Big Reds, I'm calling it right now, Corey Hutchinson. He's been exceptional tonight. He had the early pick. Great pass defense since then. So Hutchinson and Mark Chapman, my 2 players of the game for the Big Reds. Again, Selak and Nivette, or Nivelt if you will, on the other end of the football. Congrats guys, truly a great game. Now it's up to the Big Reds to finish the job they started. 8-1 on the season, trying to go 9-1. Shotgun, Mahaffey again. Over the middle. Brought down by Trice, he doesn't let him go. Nice job, Trice. Because it's Trice says nice. And now we come to it. 4th down. This, folks, is your season. They've got 1 more timeout to stop the clock. if necessary. But it's 4th down. They've got to get 5. Or it's, for all intents and purposes, over. Mahaffey to the outside. Late pass rush. Over the middle, caught. The season is kept alive for Ortonville at the 42. I believe the reception, Dylan Everett over the middle, caught. What a gutsy throw on 4th and 5, but he got it through. They're still alive. Clock stops temporarily with the chains being moved. Now it starts again. 1st and 10 from the 43. Mahaffey shotgun. Back to pass. Airing it out deep. Left sidelines. Could have very easily been caught, but instead incomplete. Intended receiver number 9, Derek Darling. CPHS Channel 6. It's the game I figured it would be. Reading about Ortonville Brand and how talented they are. This short pass spread offense. They aren't just any regular 5-4 football team. That much we're aware of. For one half of football, they gave the Big Reds all they could handle. On this 2nd down play, flag first. Pass is dropped. We'll see what the flag, which was thrown deep towards where the quarterback would handle the snap. So we'll see what the play call here is, or the penalty call, if you will. And then the play call. 3rd down and 10. Big Reds are going to decline the penalty, I believe. I guess it was on Ortonville Brandon. So another big play. Really credit this Big Red crowd who have come alive in the 2nd half, because they were dead in the 2nd. Now they've honestly come alive. They're louder than ever. A game of momentums. This is why the Big Reds went 8-1, to get the crowd like this. Mahaffey, the wideout screen again. Wide open field again. Slips and falls shy of the 1st down marker, but they got a lot of yardage to the 35. Cody Feltner, the reception. Well, Trice is down and looks like he's in a lot of pain, so we'll hold our breath on this one and certainly wish the great linebacker, number 10, Randy Trice, well. And while he's down, I'll talk about him and what a great talent he has been this season, and really a surprise. And mostly a pass rushing linebacker. This kid really surprised me in the early going. He had a great game against Eisenhower. Speed from the outside and a great job, and that's got to be a cramp. Gets up, walks it off, crowd loves it. Why? You know why, because he's a TG tough guy, that's why. But yeah, great season for Randy Trice, and you knew what kind of a player this kid was. When Coach Pat Connell of the Huskies, out of all the players he could have praised in the Times-Herald before the game, he praised number 10. Said, now that's a good linebacker. There you go. That's all you need to hear. Well, here we go on 4th down for Ortonville's season yet again. Big Reds to try and go an unbelievable 9-1 and guarantee a playoff game here next week again for week 11. Mahaffey. Back to pass. All day to throw, and he's leveled. Quarterback sack, turnover on downs, baby. Malik Edwards. '56, thank you. There it is. Malik down the lineman, and he was cannon fodder. Mahaffey for Malik Edwards. That's just about all she wrote. The certain kind of lady isn't singing yet, but she's warming up. .207 left in the 4th. They'll kneel now. Well, they may just run the football. And then some. Winslow Chapman, great block, Robotham. Winslow. That's all she wrote. See ya, 3. Touchdown, Big Reds. When I sit here and say they'll likely kneel now, because that's the conventional way of running down the clock in that situation. You don't do that when you have 3 on the football field, and I will eat my words. Touchdown, Big Reds. And what happens? Tyler Robotham gets tons of high fives going back to the Big Red bench. And you know why? He made a bone-crunching block that sprung 3 free. You got to see this block. It was just boom. Extra point is up. He missed it. Not that it matters that he missed it, but he did. 32-14. Tyler Robotham. Here's the replay. Watch this block by 8. Here you see Winslow. Great hole. And then, wham. Look at that. That is picture perfect blocking. And then Winslow does the rest. Good luck, boys. Wow. And they contained him all game long. Till now. You have to contain them all game long, and it's hard to do for 4 quarters. You can't stop the Chapmans. You contain the Chapmans. Well, a big fella in the truck down there wants to see that great block by Robotham one more time, and there it is. Boom. And here you see speed. Now look, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's like kids' games in the park. Look. I said in previous weeks, number 3 is ridiculous. But I say it because he is. So now we're looking at 32-14, 2 minutes to go, and we're looking at week 11. How about it? The Big Reds have made history. 2011 is special for more than one reason. Huntoon, let's get nasty, Port Huron. Barnes from his 9 to his 20. Now 25 down to the 27. Lots of pushing, shoving, and they're going to get called for it. Well, that is not needed. The game is, for all intents and purposes, over at this stage. Ortonville pushing and shoving. I don't talk up here for the sake of talking, even though sometimes you can say that Big D, he's got a real blabbermouth, doesn't he? Well, I do. But you know what? I've talked all season long about how well the wide receivers on this football team block. Tyler Robotham just showed you why. Here's that replay again, and the unnecessary roughness that was against Ortonville after it. Burns from the 9. Now they start the pushing right there. For all intents and purposes, again, that's a block in the back. And then the pushing after the play. Push 1, push 2, push 3. So it was the right call. Crowd loving it. They're being encouraged by the Big Red sidelines to get up. They've been great and loud all game, and it was a scary game in the second quarter, boy. Ortonville was up 14-13 at the half. But you know what? They have nothing in the second half. It was a game of quarters in the first half. PH owned the first. Ortonville owned the second. PH has owned the entire second half. That's great adjustments by Coach Mullins and his staff. This is a big play here, but you know what? It doesn't matter. 81 Dylan Everett. Sure, it's over the middle. Bend but don't break. This is typical. You let that clock continue to run down. It stops right now because of the chain movement, obviously, but your only concern, if you're a Big Red right now, is keeping Ortonville in bounds. Don't let them get out of bounds. That stops the clock. Keep them in This is the ever-popular bend but don't break. Mahaffey, shotgun, outside right, caught. Out in the flat. 800 spin moves, does a good job actually of getting his needed 10, but the Big Reds kept him in bounds. And if I'm Ortonville there, I do not like that spot at all, because if they mark him past the sticks, it automatically stops the clock. There's 2nd and 1 now. And actually, I think from where he ended up, a bad mark. 2nd and 2 from the 44. We're into our final minute from Memorial Stadium, folks. Can you taste week 11 yet? Mahaffey outside left. Good job by number 4, Montez Jackson, in a huge size mismatch. I don't need to tell you the size mismatch there. Again, the broadcast of today's game was a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and CPHS Channel 6. No reproduction, retransmission, or any other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and CPHS Channel 6. 3rd down and short, passing the flat again. The ball is dropped. And we come to 4th down. Well, the game is already over, really. But now, to show good sportsmanship, this comes down to the play right now, where you get them, you celebrate. Thank you, Port Huron High Big Reds. I've never seen week 11, and I'm about to. It is a sweet, sweet feeling. It took 16 years to see it, but I'm about to see it. Past the 40, inside the 39 to the 38. They eventually do make the tackle over there. 44 looks to be Raven Randall again. Boy, I like his future. I better get used to saying that name. He's listed as a freshman tonight, folks. 6 foot 185. There's a kid with a bright future. Maybe they brought him for a playoff game. Just for the playoff game. Shotgun again, 1st and 10, 37, and Corey Hutchinson was named my defensive player of the game tonight, and that would have put a seal on it. In and out of his hands. 29 seconds now. Well, I called 28-20. Looks like I was giving too much credit to Ortonville, but the way that first half went, the Big Reds understandably had to be a little worried going into halftime. Coach Mullins has done a great job with this coaching staff. They noticeably did adjustments. There's that wide-out screen again with tons of blocking. That's a horse collar tackle. They're not, well, yeah, they've got to throw the flag. There it is. If you do a replay of that last play, it is a picture-perfect setup design of a screen pass with a wide receiver. Picture perfect. It is in the slot, it is over the middle, and it's got 5 blockers ahead of the middle area. Watch this. Here, see now, see how he cuts it? Now see the 4 blockers. That is flat out how you set up a screen. They do it perfectly. Of course, it doesn't really matter, screen passes, I mean, when you're trailing by 18 in the 4th, but if you want to see how a screen is set up properly, there you go. That's perfect. From the 15 now, 1st and 10. It doesn't completely matter if they score. Flag first. Mahaffey stops the play. So what a treat it has been to call this game. And should the MHSAA bring us back next week, which I hope they will, we will be more than proud to bring it to you. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6. A production of the Port Huron Area School District television station. The crowd's counting it down. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. They're not even going to get the playoff. That's it. It was a scare for a while, Port Huron, and even the Big D thought he might be having a heart attack. But you know what? The Big Reds came out focused in the second half, a rejuvenated football team, and it showed on the field, and they won it. We will see Week 11. Congratulations to the Port Huron High Big Reds for doing something that has never been done in the history of Memorial Stadium, take a season to week 11. 32-14 the final tonight to your Port Huron High Big Reds beat Ortonville Brandon Blackhawks 32-14. Again, congratulations Big Reds for the entire staff of CPHS Channel 6. Once again, I've been Derek Wark, the Big D, and I'll say it one time for you all. How about those Big Reds?